Yo, it's your boy Jae Capo, artist, designer, owner of Create Daily, and you're here with the Creative Mindset.
Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Mindset. Today we have a very, very special guest. Man, this brother right here is an artist by nature. It's been since a child. I'm talking about from drawing to painting to designing. And he's also just now joined in the YouTube space, you know, doing kind of something what we do here. Creative Mindset family. Welcome, Jae Capo.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you for coming, big dog.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all for sure,
bro.
For sure.
Oh, man. Tell us how you feeling today.
I'm good today, man. You know, busy per usual, but today I'm good. Feel good. You know, good spirits. Rain ain't gonna stop nothing. You know,
It can't. Ain't gonna stop the show. So doing some of my research on you, man, I seen that you've been at this since a kid. You know, which most artists usually by heart. This ain't really nothing that you trip, fall, and bump into,
right?
Unless you just got a circle full of artists. What were some of your early sketches? Excuse me. What were some of your early sketches like? And what was those inspirations behind? The inspiration behind them.
So as a kid, my early drawings were, I redrew all of the cartoons we watched. So I grew up early X-Men cartoons, Ninja Turtles, and stuff like that. So I just redrew all of that stuff. I took my action figures and would set them up and just draw my action figures and stuff. So most of my drawings were all like all of that. That was it for me. I just wanted to draw because those things didn't exist as far as like coloring books go. So when my granny give me a coloring book, it's just like farm animals and stuff. I don't want to color no pigs no more, man. So once I get to like 8, 9, that's when it was like, man, I'm just drawing pictures just so I can color them, really. So that's what started it all for me, was just drawing the cartoons and stuff.
Who was your first one? I always like to ask artists who drew as a kid.
My very first?
Uh-huh.
I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I'm going to guess it was probably Spider-Man.
Okay.
It would have been either Spider-Man or a terrible drawing of Wolverine. Like one of them two, because those were my two favorite back then. So it was probably one of them. Yeah, it had to be one of them too.
The reason why I'm always curious and I like to ask that question is because I learned how to draw from my older sister.
Okay.
And it was just people. But then when it came to actually trying to draw something, the first thing I ever drew was Chief Wahoo, like from something like mimicking something.
Yeah.
And that was like second grade. And because my sister smoked Chief Wahoo like crazy. But then I remember eating Fruity Pebbles. In the box, it was a little kit that showed you step by step how to draw Fred Flintstone. And then I was in like this mailing club. Remember like Bugs Bunny used to be like the icon for like the USPS?
Yeah.
So I learned how to draw Bugs Bunny and Fred Flintstone from drawing along with the instructional step-by-step thing. And that was still like second to third grade. So I'm always curious on what was the first thing that people drew, because I just thought I was the man after I learned how to draw that.
Listen, you couldn't have told me I wasn't. You know, first time I drew Spider-Man, it actually halfway, somebody knew it was him. I was like, man, it's over. Y'all, I'm the man, bro. What?
I could never get them lines right on the mask. Once you smoke them lines, boy.
The crazy part is I never got them right at that time. Like they were not right at all. But because I can get the body and stuff right, it was like you knew who it was. And I mean, we was kids, so I mean, if you in first, second grade, you 6 years old, like, you know, and then you can't do nothing close to that. It's like, oh yeah. So for me, they was hype. I sold my first drawing in like 5th grade to a kid for $5. He wanted it. He wanted the drawing. He put it in his locker, and that was actually the bug for real for me. It was like, oh, people like my stuff for real. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, it's over with.
That's fire right there.
That's what really kicked off like the true love that I have today. It all started around 4th, 5th grade when I sold that drawing.
Okay. So we talked a little bit, we dabbled about it off wax before we turned the cameras on, but tell us the inspiration and the foundations of Create Daily as a brand, because now Create Daily is expanding into multiple things, but
Mm-hmm.
my first time coming across it was the brand that you have, the clothing brand.
So Create Daily, the brand, what started it all really was, so like you said, I'm a painter by trade,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I do primarily. So I paint in workwear. So I wear Carhartt and occasionally like Dickies type pants to paint. And I just had ideas like, why don't I just design my own? I want things to fit a certain way. There's colors that don't exist really out there much. So I was like, I kind of want to do that. So me and a friend collaborated on a jacket. He has a clothing brand in Akron. So we kind of chopped it up on some ideas, and we released the jacket. We sold out in 2 weeks, and that was it for me as far as starting it. But it's really just for those that create whatever your medium is. So if you want to wear it to be fly, to create, the content here, or whether you actually going to wear it to paint in, it is actual quality workwear. So if you're building a house, whatever it is you're doing, it's actual product that covers, all bases. And then the sizing as well. I really wanted to focus on trying to find a way to create these products for bigger sizes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize how many people that wore a 3X, 4X was going to buy the product. That sold out before anything. So like to see them say like, yo, we want the quality workwear too. We want the quality gear too.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, cool. So I just feel like I want to create something that's for everybody in some way, shape, or form. So
That's fire. Because from my first glance, before finding out the real reason, it looked like a homage to blue collar. You
yo,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And that green is sick, man.
Thank you, man.
And I seen like in one of the interviews that's linked to your page is you like to create your own colors. So was that green something that you kind of like created on your own? Because that has to be hard when you're sourcing fabrics, or is it something that you just kind of seen when you found out what your options were?
No, we created that color. So I looked through colors. I know what I wanted. I knew I wanted a navy blue collar. I've never actually said this to anybody, but the blue collar is to represent blue collar. Like it is kind of literal, right? But so that was that. I knew that, and then I knew I wanted camel color, khaki color jacket. I needed something that was for everyone that maybe not too much into colors and things. And then when it comes to the green, I knew what green I wanted. I looked through different shades. I have a book of colors that I use. I have websites that I look at and stuff to just get color ideas and stuff. I have tons of paint and things like that too. So I figured out the color. I got the color code, and when I dealt with the manufacturer, I sent them the color code, and we bought raw canvas so that they can create the color and dye the canvas the color that I wanted. So we didn't source that color. They had to dye all the fabric that color for the pants and jackets.
That's big hands-on. That's fire.
Yeah.
How many revisions to the samples you had to go through to get that right?
3. Just for the color, yeah, just 3. The first sample jacket he sent in the tan, knowing that he didn't get the green right already. But so I seen pictures of it, and then I got another jacket that was actually like a lighter green, which kind of what the jacket might end up looking like in reality after a lot of wear and tear over the years. So I'm like, okay, this is close, but like it's in the same family, but this ain't it. So the third time was we got it right. And soon as he sent me the photo, I'm like, you ain't even gotta send the jacket, just like let's get going. I need the clothes here now. So So yeah.
What's out there in the space, looking at your paintings, a lot of it reminded me of like work that I've seen, and I've even seen you painted him in one of your paintings, and it looks like Basquiat type of work, that kind of collage. Besides Basquiat, because that of course that has to be one of your inspirations. Who else are some of your inspirations when you're painting?
So there's a few major people that inspire me. So Basquiat wasn't always an inspiration. I actually was not when I started painting again 2016. I wasn't even really familiar with Basquiat at all like that. Because when I graduated high school, I didn't paint for 9 years after that because I just didn't have people around to tell me like keep going. Nobody really told me like no stop, but it was just like you ain't gonna do nothing with it. So that was enough for me to be like, all right, I should probably chill. So when I got back to painting, I wasn't super familiar with Basquiat. I got into artists from Philadelphia named King Saladin and Hebrew Brentley from Chicago. So Saladin and Hebrew were the two that I really got into early on, and they're masters when it comes to color choice, color combinations, and things. And they are like King Saladin is very, I don't want to say similar to Basquiat, but he has, his expression, his abstract style is something that really kind of spoke to me. So that's when I really kind of dove into more of Basquiat's work and things. And so those are three of my bigger inspirations as far as black artists. And then Murakami, I feel like he can't do no wrong really.
Can't.
So I love everything Murakami. Like I remember first time I got hip to Murakami around the same time that he did the first Louis Vuitton collab and stuff that he had. So that was my first time ever getting from hearing of him. And then fast forward to the album covers and all of that, then you get hip to like calls and stuff. So I think those five would kind of be that people would know at least. Those are probably the biggest ones. And then my older brother's he studied fine arts in college, and my brother's like a wizard when it comes to like art. Just his knowledge, his art history, his understanding of art. I mean, I took like his actual books that he used for like class in college, and like I used those to just get ideas. So like understanding the Italian Renaissance, people wouldn't know it because of the style of art, but like the Italian Renaissance plays a role in the art in some of the pieces that I've done. Understanding space and like space planning, right? How like when you space plan for like here, right? I do that on a canvas. So what people do to decorate a house or a room is what I try to do with a canvas, depending on what the piece is. So yeah, so that's kind of. I mean, I hope that wasn't too long. Right?
No,
I want to say because it's like as I'm listening to you, I'm trying to ask you like establishing your style because what it is that the style can flow on any canvas. And as you was explaining different designers, I'm like, so that's what they was doing. Because I'm not historically, I just write. I'm a bookworm. I like books.
Okay.
I read a lot, but I used to doodle a little bit. But I don't really have a heavy hand with art. So the way that I extract what I need to put the pen and pad is different. It may be different. So like painting walls, when you saying just prepping yourself for the space, like how do you get what's in your head out there like that? Like if that makes sense.
So more recently, I started doodling on iPad and stuff. So I'll create the ideas small so that I can kind of fine tune or the idea, or I'll draw things out, paint markers and stuff, and I'll do stuff in a pad. But to be honest, a lot of times because I I feel like my number one goal is to just simply express and to get the message out. For me, I feel like I know what I want to do, so I just do it, and so I don't need to figure much out. You know, it's all everything that's going on in my head. I can see pretty vividly, like constantly. Like it's like I have a very to be an adult. I have a very vivid imagination. So like so anything that just about everything I paint it comes out exactly how I saw it. Like I saw it before I did it most of the time.
That's dope. That's dope.
I seen you reading in the article, another one of those articles that's linked to your page. In 2018, you were facing like creative blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Here at the Creative Mindset, we like to talk about mental health and like when you feel good, when you look good, you do good.
Yeah.
Going through that creative block, what were some of the strategies that you implemented or the route that you took to get you back going?
So the creative block actually came from really personal life. It wasn't even so there was nothing I could do creatively, you know. I found myself mimicking some of those artists that I mentioned to you at one point, and one of them ironically actually even called me out on Instagram about it, and like he actually sent me a message like, you know, like, yo, like, what's up? And I'm like, bro, like, I didn't even, like, it wasn't purposeful. It was just me kind of creating and putting a picture up, and it was just like, it was very similar to something he had done like in the past, and I didn't realize kind of how that was affecting like my thought process when creating. But the personal life stuff is what was kind of blocking everything. Just dealing with anxiety and about with depression around that time, I really couldn't think really clearly. So I didn't communicate very clearly either with like family, you know, trying to raise the kids, kind of being short with the kids and stuff. So all of that just kind of played a role in me just not being able to like kind of get over the hump and create something that I feel like was worth showing. I still did stuff, but I just knew it wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I knew it wasn't worth showing anybody, or I couldn't complete something. So therapy really is what changed all of that. You know, talking to people and then going to therapy, that really is what kind of opened that block back up to where it was, you know, once I was able to kind of clear my mind to have my woosah moments, you know, it was like, all right, you know, then the ideas kind of came back, and started painting on like jackets and stuff like that, just because I felt like I needed to start with like smaller ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just do like little things on jackets and stuff, and then that's when it was just something just kind of clicked at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the first time I seen you on Ross page with the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time I ever seen you, and that was like 2021, right? 2021, something like that.
Yeah, it would have been 2021.
Yeah. So how do you maintain coming from that? Because that was around the time that you said, you know, you was coming out of depression,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And getting back around. What self-care practices do you actually utilize to, you know, maintain your mental health?
So I have a pretty healthy relationship with my family, so we make a point to really talk, check on each other and things, right? And for me, you know, I'm not a sleeper. I go to sleep late, wake up early. So like taking time when everybody else is asleep to myself to actually, you know, chill and decompress and things. Therapy, obviously, like that, like the self-care for me is really just making sure that I'm not bottling nothing up, keeping nothing in, whether it's small or big, work or personal. And then as far as the physical stuff, you know, I got into cycling a couple years ago. Friend of mine, fellow dad, got me into cycling. And so like when I really feel like I just need a break or something, like, you know, I do that. Trying to watch what I eat. You know,
Right.
everything's about what I take in. So watch what I eat, watch what I ingest as far as visually, what TV shows and movies I watch and don't watch. There's a lot of stuff that popular that people talk about I refuse to watch. I just have never watched. Or somebody will be watching around me and I might watch it, but there's, you know, my family will tell you if I don't want to watch it, I'll go in another room. Like, I'm cool. Like, I just don't even want to, like, because it's hard for me. It's hard to watch certain things on TV because it's just like either one is like beyond unrealistic and it's just like that wouldn't happen that way. or it's just like, yo, like if he or she would just be quiet, their argument would stop. And it's like, bro, why am I talking to this TV? I'm out of here, man. You know,
I do that with horror films, but I'm more so be just talking about why did the writers do this right here?
Yeah.
Why did they could have made this part better? Because
Yeah.
I know it's coming from somewhere. I'm not attacking the actors; they're just doing their job.
Yeah,
I've been thinking more so about the
100%.
the post, you know, the curation of it all.
100%.
That's being a tough critic, man. When you realize that they tapping into the lower selves of who their demographic is,
Yeah.
and it be
Or-
like that don't even make sense.
Or they
Yeah.
projecting their own insecurities on screen because they got that power.
That's a possibility too. Yeah. So either way, for me, to keep my mental sharp, I guess, I'm cool. I won't take it in, man. You know, I'll see it every now and again.
Kids be salty.
I'm not oblivious to like what's out there, but it's just, you know, if I have any say, it's just I'm not, you know, I'm very, it's minimal when I do watch it. Let's just say that.
Just to backpedal real quick, because every step of the journey is kind of a stepping stone for the next part of your artistry. And he mentioned the bottles. He seen you with the bottles with Ross. So when you were coming out of that rut from the 2018 rut, I also seen that you pretty much paint on whatever paint sticks to. That was like your quote.
Yeah.
So was that what inspired those bottles?
Yeah, actually, so 2020, you know, no one's going out. We quarantine, right? So I had some canvases. I painted. That was actually my first like large dollar painting that I sold in the summer of 2020. I sold a painting for $1,000, collector in Cincinnati, and he found me from, we were in the comments on the same page, and I commented something like, yo, check my work out or something. He actually ended up clicking on my page, seeing it, sent me a DM, and that was like my first, like, as far as like what the painting's was valued at the time, that was my highest value. But not having a bunch of other canvases to paint on, I started just painting on. That's where the paint stick to it. I painted. I found old Air Force Ones I wasn't wearing, painted them. My son had a hat that barely fit. It's like, all right, let me paint on it. So at least you get a couple more wears out of it. You name it. Like I would use it. And then I painted a Douce bottle. Is what it was. Just like, oh, let me see what I can do. And after that, a friend of mine was working for Bel Air here, hit me up, sent me a DM like, yo, can you paint some bottles for me? And I'm like, I guess. I mean, I don't know what to charge, but I see what I can do. So I was doing the bottles for free for a minute because I just was figuring it out. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what paint would stick to it, if it would rub off, nothing. I just was trying stuff. So yeah, I gave him some bottles for an event. Then he paid me for another event. Then I got to do a bottle for like Kareem Hunt and stuff. And then Ross was coming to town, and he was like, "Yo, paint some bottles. I'll make it happen so we can, you know, cross paths and chop it with Ross." And I'm like, "Oh, all right, cool."
That was
Make
when
it
Ray
happen.
Jr. Had the movie at Quick and Loans.
Yeah, Ray
That's
Jr. movie
crazy.
premiere. Yep. So
Shit was moving.
Yeah,
It was a different time. Post-COVID was a different time.
It was very different time. It was that that time, me coming out of that and just being in a like a super creative space where I would really just, if like I paint fairly quickly. So if you call me on a Tuesday and want a painting for a show on a Friday, I can complete a painting in those days. That's how fast I was painting at the time. So, you know, if he would call me on a Thursday and need the painting, need the bottles by Friday morning, the bottles are done by Friday morning. So I was just I was cooking. And that actually helped me as well, helped keep me from going backpedaling, right? Because you're still dealing with personal stuff, things with my son, things with my son's mother, and you know, so just dealing with just different things. That really helped, but there was a super spike talking about post COVID. I mean, I probably painted, I don't know, over those next couple of months, 50 plus Bel Air bottles alone over just those next like 60 days. It was, I mean, I was getting hit up from people in other countries, and I'm just like, listen, I don't have a license to ship alcohol across the state lines and across the waters and stuff. Like, y'all, like I had to turn down a lot of business because I just like I had the Bel Air rep in like in, I don't know, I forget which country, but someone in Africa, like a Bel Air rep in Africa hit me like, yo, I'm like, yo, talk to Bel Air so that I just get the bottles to them and they let them deal with that. And I'm like, call whoever you need to call. But you know, it didn't end up working out that way with Bel Air, but you know, but yeah, no, that's what helped keep me out from trending backwards as far as my mental health, was just staying busy and creating daily, essentially. And that's what kind of where Create Daily was kind of started to be born around that time, as far as a saying or a moniker for me. So yeah, it was around that time.
It's like you said off camera, man, you do everything, you moving righteously.
Yeah.
And so things is coming to you.
Yeah, I try to for sure.
Because you was giving them away at first.
Oh yeah, I still give stuff away.
And that's
Still to this day, I'll always, I'll never not give stuff away. Something. It's a scarf, a hat, a jacket, a small painting, you know, somebody housewarming. I got a painting that's been sitting for 6-8 months. I bless them with a painting. I mean, I could sell it a couple grand, but you know, I'd rather know that it's in a home and it's being loved on than, you know, somebody that might think that like, you know, I'm next up or something, you know. So yeah, I still give stuff away from time to time. That ain't never gonna change. I don't think.
I'm glad you mentioned the painting that you sold. You clarified it was $4,000 because one article I read said 100, the other one said 1,000. So I was going to ask you about that too.
So my very first painting was $100.
Okay.
The first painting in the pandemic, when everybody's getting laid off, I got furloughed from my job, so I wasn't doing anything, and you know the whole unemployment was like crazy, so I didn't actually get any money for like 2 months. So like. But yeah, so that was my first painting. That was my first large dollar painting, and it happened and it happened in the pandemic. My very first painting was $100 though. It was 2 small like space scenes that, you know, somebody seen it was like, yo, I really like those. I'm put those in my son's room, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, how much you want for them? I'm like, $100. And he was like, all right, cool. And I'm just like. You would have thought I made $1 million that day, bro. I swear.
So talk to us about that. Tell me about the battery you put in your back, because one of our previous guests, I think it was the episode before the last that we recorded, it's coming soon, but she was like, she didn't feel like a designer and she said, you're not officially a designer until you sell a design.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was a saying that she had heard. So I know you already knew you were a painter and you were an artist, because this shit by blood. I ain't even gonna fake.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you sold that first painting for that $100, you ecstatic. How did that put that battery in your back to continue to want the hunger for more?
Man, I painted so much after that. I painted everything. Man, listen. There was nothing I wasn't painting. There was nowhere I wouldn't paint. I was painting my living room. There was a point that I turned my mom's basement in my studio for a minute because I just need more space. If I needed a perfect circle, I was taking pot tops. So like, listen, you ain't gonna be able to boil them noodles right because I got the pot top got paint all over it now. My bad. Like I didn't care. Like that was like a major part. Like, cause I think I started 2016. I did a ton of like random little things in 2016 as far as shows and trying to show the work. I think that first piece I sold was probably 2017 into 2016 or beginning of 2017. And that's when it was just like, oh, I ain't doing enough. I need to, let me just, I went crazy, man. I went and bought every canvas I could afford. Any free dollar I had went to buying canvases and art supplies and stuff. Just, that was a big game changer. $100 was gone that night though. Like, so, it wasn't no $1 million for sure. But I went out and celebrated, and that thing was gone by 10 o'clock.
So I want you to talk to us more because you said that around that time when you was making those bottles, shortly after that phase of painting the Bel Air bottles, the foundations of Create Daily were starting to become born. So talk to us about that process because when you have an idea, it's not real until you get that first sample.
Yeah.
And then you like, damn, I thought of this.
Yeah.
And now I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah.
Talk to us more about that process and what was going on in your mind about going through that.
So first, post the bottles, around the same time I was doing bottles, I was putting create art on hats. I was painting create art on trucker hats and selling those. And then I got into doing more jackets and bespoke jackets and things like that, painting on jackets. That's kind of where I kind of transitioned to after the bottles was customizing jackets for people. And then as I'm thinking of like the name Create Daily, I then start to put that as like a hashtag or as a caption and things. It wasn't, let's see, so that would have been 21 into 22. So it probably wouldn't have been another year before I actually released a product with Create Daily on it. That would have been the beginning of, what's that? Let's see, this is 25, right? So this would have been spring of 2023 would have been the first time that I actually started to put Create Daily on products. I first started off putting it on t-shirts and giving them out to other artists, a couple t-shirts and things. Then I would put it on, then I started doing like designs for t-shirts and jackets and stuff. And that's when the friend from Akron hit me up. We have similar taste as far as like things that we're into as far as jackets. So he was like, yo, you want to collab on a work jacket? And I'm just like, sure. So we got to talking. So we talked in March of 23, finalized the design probably June, July of 23. And then we didn't even get a sample. We went straight to just like, we were so on it. I designed a Chanel patch. So we did a workwear jacket with a Chanel patch on the back, silicone on the front, and then we had pins made for it. So like we went like all out. And we just went straight to production. We didn't even do a sample. We just straight ordered a jacket. Like just blindly just found somebody through like Alibaba and ordered a bunch of jackets and that was it. Yeah, we went that. That's so crazy, imagine we did. So imagine fuck it. Literally 23. We got the jackets and dropped them in the like beginning of 24 and did a couple. videos, made a couple videos for like Instagram and stuff, and yeah, it went crazy from there. Like it just took off.
So as a person who's made creations and pieces through Alibaba, what was the design flaws you found out immediately after you put that order in? What would you would have did to make that product better?
So the jackets were a size or two too small.
Mm-hmm.
So a 3X fit like a 1X.
Ooh, because they small.
Right. So like the smalls were good. The mediums were like medium. A large was more of a medium. So like everything was a size to two sizes too small.
Because they put like a 2 centimeter difference between each piece.
And then we had it lined. We had it quilted, so it was a padded workwear jacket at that. So that took up that. So that also helped take up a lot of the space.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as like building out the jackets, but that was it. That's the only thing that was the only issue. Really was the sizing.
Mm-hmm.
The collar could have been a little better as far as like how they made it, because it was a little bit of a flimsy corduroy.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Really, it was mainly the sizing, and it was just like, all right. That's when I was like, so it was two things that I got from that. It was like, one was like, okay, I can sell clothes. That I know what I'm doing. You're right, because even the Chanel patch, like I did the designs, I chose the font, we picked out the colors and everything together and stuff. But like, so for me, it was like that was enough for me to know like I can design.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I like. I like what I like. I'm gonna create what I like, and I know other people like it. That's it. I don't care what anybody say. I know it's the truth. That's the gospel. Y'all can't tell me that y'all don't like what I like. There's nothing I don't put out that people ain't gonna like. That's what I got from that jacket. And then the second thing was always get samples, get multiple samples if need be, because I was like, there's no way I don't wear 3X.
Mm-hmm.
No reason I should have a 3X jacket on, you know. So yeah, so that was definitely learned a lot from that. And even still, I've had issues my first run with the current collection, but not bad, but not too crazy, but just small tweaks, because I was a lot more hands-on. With like I sent every measurement from every size, from a small all the way to the 3X or to the 4X. I sent every size from the shoulder, body length, chest, waist. Like I sent like these are the measurements. So I'm gonna pull out these pants. I'm gonna measure each pair of pants you send me. Man, we got 100 pair of pants and shorts coming in. So I'm like, I obviously wasn't about to measure each pair, but I measure one of each size to see, and I'm just like, yo, you was off. You like, so now I gotta resize everything. So I gotta take tags out. I gotta make the 28s a 26 because you made everything a little too small. So it's like, so you know, which they got me right on the back end for this next collection.
So they give you a discount.
Yeah.
They made such a hand, right?
Yeah. And we have a wonderful relationship now. Me and there was a point I was probably talking to the factory more than I was talking to my friends. That's how like hands on.
Because you're getting made in China, right?
No, I actually did. My clothes are made in Pakistan now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I heard Pakistan was a good option. A couple homies told me Pakistan, because I dealt with China, and just that 14, 15 hour time difference already. It be smoking you.
Yeah. It's crazy, man, trying to communicate with them. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't think I can say who's better or worse. I could just say what works for me as far as how I communicate and things and what I need. You know, it worked out for me working with Pakistan. I got samples from China. I still get samples in China. I compare them. You know, I'll get samples and I'll get the sample and I'll compare them and show them like, this is what they did good. This is what you did good. Can you fix this to be like that? You know, just to continue to build our business relationship. So
I want to highlight that, man, because every artist doesn't have a business acumen and be able to negotiate and be able to have patience with their piece, and because that's going to the designer pad, man. Yeah. Talk about that, like the button starts of that. Like, how did you get into the connections to even make those type of moves and do that? Because everybody don't know, and that's what you know what I'm saying, sometimes people hit that wall with their designs.
As far as the designs or as far as the business with the factories?
Like when you having a design and you trying to find somebody that make it and make your vision come to life.
So I've been blessed to have people give me information and give me game a long time ago. So my brother is, whether he knows it or not, or whether we've ever said it, that's my mentor, right? So my brother, when I was in high school, my brother had a clothing line with his best friend in college, and they would send the clothes. You know, they were in Dayton, they went to Wright State. They would send the clothes back up to me. Like, I'm a senior in high school, or like when I was a freshman in college, they would send some of the t-shirts and hoodies and stuff up to me for me to. I'm going around to campuses selling t-shirts and things, so t-shirts, hoodies, and all of that. So for me, I asked questions like, you know, why this, how that. You know, they had their own. I would say 20, 21 years old, had with their own tags inside of t-shirts and all of that. And I'm just like, yo, like, you can't tell me we ain't about to blow up, right? These cats got a meeting with Journeys. We about to be in Journeys. And this when Journeys was popping. You know, you can actually go get good kicks, you go get good dunks and all that back in the day.
SBs was around the world.
Yeah. This is like 2005, 6, 7, somewhere around there. So it's just like
Good time.
So for me, it was like, and I didn't ask a ton of questions. He just gave me the information. So, and that things don't change. Things might look different. The landscape might look different, right? But, and who's popping, what's popular, the trends, all of that. But like, the game don't change. Like, there's still a way to look polished, and there's still a way to look for people to know that you just started out as well. Like, there's things that can happen. So I knew all of this stuff, right? And then back to those times, I grew up in vape era, right? Like heavy vape era, like ice cream. So this is when, like, Pharrell been the man. Like, what he doing today is wonderful, but Pharrell's been the man as far as fashion is concerned, right? And so, like, back to also Murakami. So, like, you know, just understanding, like, listening to them, watching what they talking about, seeing what they doing, all of that. I just took all this information. I just never forgot it. So when it was time to do something, it was just like, all right, let me go get a refresh. YouTube University, right? And go watch some old interviews and old clips and all of that, and just kind of refresh on some ideas on as far as the business go. And it was just like, you take that along with personal experiences with the jacket we did, me and my homie did, and yeah, it was just like, just 2 and 2 always equal 4, man. You know what I'm saying? So just always make the math make sense, and just, you know, figure it out. Always be a student. Always be willing to go get a refresh and ask questions and stuff too. So, you know, I don't ask as many questions today as I used to or could even probably, but yeah, just don't forget, man. Just keep and just go for it.
So create daily is the mantra. What influenced you to now join us in this YouTube space to do what you're doing? Because I've just seen what you just dropped recently with Corey Grant. Shout out to you. I'm gonna clap that one up.
Appreciate that. So it's 2 parts to, like, why I did that, why I kind of moving into this type of content space. So, like, I'm one of those people that's like, internet is not real, right? Like,
that's true.
I don't need the internet. Like, my highest dollar paintings have all sold from actual art shows, in person, people talking to me, seeing the work. I don't sell nothing through the internet, right? Most of the clothes I sold some through the internet, through social media. Obviously, I get people to order through the website, but, like, as far as, like, content go, that stuff don't move me, right? But I understand why it does and how it does. So it was like, all right, how can I use this to like further what Create Daily kind of represents, which will then help sell the clothes. Because the business side of Create Daily, as far as the clothes go, there is two different parts of like kind of where the business is going to go over the next couple years. So it's like, all right, I need to do some content. I have a sister in California who's videographer, and cinematographer, and stuff. So doing content is what she does for a living for other people. So she had an idea that she wasn't using, and she hit me like, we should probably do this with creatives and this and that. And I'm like, that's perfect. I actually had similar idea, but that's like she took that her idea was actually just like a lot more polished and like well thought out. So I'm just like, man, that's perfect. Let's do it. So she flew to town and we did like 5-6 interviews in a week. We just like every day we just back to back to back while she was in town. Just knocked them out, drove these cameras and lights around and banged it out. And it's the focus really was to highlight creatives, entrepreneurs, makers of things, right? And which will then highlight like what Create Daily kind of represents, which will then, I think, as people connect with the content and Create Daily, they can then connect with the clothing. Because then the clothing essentially, some of the clothes essentially will be just merch for the content, whether it be a saying that comes from it or a saying that's connected to it. So like I have a t-shirt that says create the things you wish existed. That's a direct connection to what we're doing with what I'm doing with the content. Because it's like, I wish that more people had different conversations similar to how we have it now, right? So it's like, it didn't exist, so I'm gonna create it. It's like, okay, you want to do music, whatever music that you felt didn't exist in Cleveland as a DJ and a producer, cool, we did that. So it's like, that's kind of the idea, was just how can one help the other and vice versa. So just kind of, I want Create Daily to be a fully creative place and platform and space, not just like a workwear brand. So yeah, like it's a lot that's gonna happen over the next like 2-3 years. I have the next like 2.5 years kind of figured out as far as what my plan is. So, and this was a building block for that. This is a foundational piece for me to get to where I'm trying to get to in 2 years.
Like an incubator, like a hub of creation for people to come and tap in. Physical location.
Eventually, yeah. So what I want for Create Daily is to have it would be more of a design studio, because the focus for the space will be primarily clothing and art. So it'll be more of a design studio and gallery space. But yes, I want it to be somewhat of an incubator for creatives, because it's not very many creative people, whether it's regardless of skin color, regardless of how long you've been doing it, right? It's not many I don't know or haven't come across and had conversations with. So whether it's music, paint curators, gallery owners, restaurant owners, club owners, like, whether they are a collector of my artwork or whether we just chopped it up at a random event and now we cool, whatever it is. So for me, it's like everybody's doing their own thing. I know my purpose in life. I know my purpose on this earth is to help other people and give to other people, right? So if I don't make $10 million a year, I guarantee that I have a hand in somebody making $10 million a year, just because that's who I am. That's what I give. That's my purpose. So I think having a design studio or incubator type space kind of helps push that forward and showing that, all right, yes, I can do clothes. Yes, I paint. Yes, I can do a show over here and over here. And we did this content that I'm not actually in, that's the other part too with the content. I'm not in any video content that I do. So all the Create Daily content is hyper focused on the creative or the entrepreneur. I'm like, my voice not in it, nothing. Just Create Daily. I want you to focus on them and the brand. I'm good. You like, for the most part, people already know who I am. I'll do this if I want people to see my face, or you'll see me in person. So
Got a network.
yeah.
So
So
once you move it to YouTube, you create a network at that point.
yeah.
Yeah. That's dope, bro.
So yeah, we just laying the foundation right now. Over the next 6 months, so it'll be some more stuff happening too. So
Fun, Create Daily.
Create Daily, man. Listen,
Funders, Create Daily.
We
Send them some bread.
yeah, no, I'll take it, man. Anybody want to invest, and we can talk.
Yes.
I mean, I know my numbers. I know what my plans are. Business plan is together. Yeah, no, we bootstrapped for now, but I mean, I ain't even worried about it. Like, it's just, I'm following the path laid for me, to be quite honest, man. I pay homage to people that came before me and laid the path, and I follow the path God tell me to go down. So that's it.
That's peace.
So
Amen.
we gonna make it to the mountaintop either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Tell me, what are you most grateful for?
Most grateful, family. I'm most grateful for family. I see so many people who either don't have family or are so easy, or it is so easy for them to just kind of toss away family. Just the way that things are these days, it's just like, if you don't bring me peace, then you don't need to be around. It's like, yeah, that's cool. I get that and I support that. I do. But at the same time, it's like, this might be a little cliche, but hurt people, right? So it's just like you don't know what that person might need, or you being in that life, even if you just learn to set boundaries. Conversation we was having before we got on camera, like having somebody to say, you are this friend for me, or you are this person for me. So like being able to know that and say that and receive that is, I think is the better step to take than just because you don't serve me the way that I think you should, or whatever, just to throw people away. So I'm super grateful for family. I got a mother who's healthy. I got a grandmother who's healthy. I have then my father's parents are still alive and still kicking. They've been married forever. I have my children and my family. I have my brother and sisters. I have a brother in San Francisco, a sister in LA, I got a sister in New York, and I have a brother here. And it's like, we good. Our families are good. I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for the people I call family that become family and stuff. Yeah, I'm just grateful for the people I have around, man. I don't know if life is the same without them around. With these things that I'm doing, I don't think I have the same feeling or appreciation for it if I don't have all of these people around.
Understood.
Yeah. How can you Create Daily etched into society? I typically ask a different question, but I feel like Create Daily is your focal point. And I always ask guests, like, how can you leave a lasting impression? What would you want to be remembered by? Like a piece, if you had to pick one, something you put everything into. How do you want Create Daily to be looked at long after you go?
I want Create Daily to be looked at as I want it to be looked at as a starting point for everybody. So whatever it is you do, however you're introduced to Create Daily, I want people to look at it, that's when it started for them. So whether you came to an event or came to a show or something and you met someone, doesn't have to be me, but you met somebody that helped you, or you sat down and had a conversation with me and I explained to you what Create Daily is and where we're headed, and that was a spark for you to go back to doing your work. Or, you know, I tell you this is the way I'm filming content, this is why we doing it, this is how we doing it, and you believe that, okay, this is a lot simpler than I thought, I'm going to do that as well, or I'm going to pivot. Whatever it is, I want Create Daily to always be remembered or to be looked at as a starting point. Even if it's just the name, to just tell yourself I need to do something every day. I'm going to create myself every day. I'm going to create the space I want to be in every day. I'm going to create a new relationship every day. I'm going to build on that relationship every day. Whatever it is, Create Daily, I want people to think of it as just a starting point for something in their life that pushed them forward in life and hopefully gets into a place of like happiness and peace and all of that, self-awareness and all that. That's it.
I receive that, man.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate you for sharing. So for the people who not following you, that don't know where to find you, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me everywhere at Jae Capo, JaeCapo, or Create Daily LLC. Website is createdaily.shop. That's it. I'm not hard to find, man. Just spell the name, and that's it.
Creative Mindset family is Jae Capo, baby.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you for coming to join us today, brother.
Love, man.
Love.
I feel rejuvenated.
Shout out to the boot again.
Y'all gonna have to sign it, yo.